If you've been feeling like you need to change, if you want to change your life in a drastic way or even a not so drastic way, if you want to become a whole new you and step into that better version of yourself, then it may be time to completely reinvent yourself. And here's how you do it. Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jillz and I help women step into their power and become their best self. So if that's something you're into, you should absolutely hit that red subscribe button below and join this wonderful community. So I don't know about you, but I feel like since 2020, a lot of people have been craving a transformation within themselves and in their life. And I think a lot of people have wanted to have like this just complete life makeover and move on to that next version of themselves. And that's why I felt inspired to film this video, because reinventing yourself is 100% totally doable, and it might even be easier than you think. And when you can really dedicate 6 months of your time to becoming this new you, it can literally change the entire trajectory of your life. Now, could you do this faster than 6 months? Yeah, totally. But 6 months gives you plenty of time to step into this new you without it feeling like it's a rush or this stressful race. And it gives you time to really own and solidify who you're becoming. And if you're watching as of the date I'm posting this, then in about 6 months, it'll be the beginning of a new year. And so if you start this now, you'll head into the new year as your transformed self. And that will be such a good feeling. Now, before I get into this video, remember that if you want to change your life, if you want to completely reinvent yourself, if you want to fully step into the person that you know you can be, it's up to you. You are the only one who can make that change, and you are the only one who is responsible for that. No one else is going to do it for you, and there's not going to be any changes in your life until you can really own up to that. And although that might sound scary or overwhelming, it's a very beautiful thing, because you and only you have so much power to create change in your life. So let's talk about how to completely reinvent yourself. So of course, the first thing that you need to do before anything else is you need to identify what you want.
What do you want?
You need to get clear about who you want to be and what that really means for you. And for some people, they might know exactly who that is, and this will take zero effort. But for other people, it might take some time to sit with yourself and get clear and identify to yourself what that even is. To get to where you want to go, you need to have a destination. It needs to be crystal clear in your mind to the point where you can visualize it, you can see it, you can feel it. And no one else is going to know what this person looks like except for you. It's not what other people want for you, it's what you want for you. What does this person dress like? What does this person do with their free time? What type of books do they read? What time do they wake up? What do they eat? What type of jewelry do they wear? How do they show up in the world? What energy do they give off? Before you can reinvent yourself, you have to identify what that means for you. And not only that, but you have to be specific about what you're specifically trying to change or transform. Now, this next point is where things get interesting. And if you take away anything from this video, I hope it's this. When it comes to changing your life, obviously your habits and behaviors are super important, of course. But it's more than that. And this is what's holding people up and keeping people stuck. The way you really create change and transformation at a deep level is not necessarily by adding on new habits, but instead it's about shifting your identity by truly seeing yourself as that person right now. Obviously, if you shift your habits and behaviors, then slowly over time, inch by inch, you will gradually shift your identity. But oftentimes that can be a really slow and painful process. So what if you did it the other way around? What if you shifted your identity first? When it comes to reinventing yourself and creating change in your life, your identity is more important more than anything else. And that is what creates quicker and massive shifts in your life. And that is what you should focus on. And that's where this idea of an alter ego comes in. And stick with me on this one because it's very interesting and can really work wonders. So I want to use an example to introduce this concept of an alter ego. So we all know Halsey, right? She's famous, a pop singer, very successful. Well, her real name is Ashley, and she just, kind of rearranged the letters. And Ashley didn't just change her name to Halsey because she thought it was catchy or was a better stage name. She actually created the name Halsey to reinvent herself and to change the way she viewed herself. When she was asked about the name Halsey and why that's her name, she was quoted as saying, "I had to become somebody completely different. At the time, I felt that Ashley didn't deserve to be famous and successful because she wasn't that special. but if I made Halsey, maybe she could be. So to her, Ashley didn't deserve to be seen. Ashley wasn't worthy of the success that she wanted. She didn't believe that Ashley could do it. She didn't believe that Ashley was bold enough or talented enough. But to her, Halsey could. Halsey had a chance. She couldn't envision Ashley being famous and successful, but she could see it with Halsey. And creating this little alter ego in her head helped her to shift out of the mindset and stories that previously kept her stuck. And this shift in identity changed the entire trajectory of her life. And so many others have used this approach to reach a lot of success. You know, Kobe Bryant had the alter ego Black Mamba, and that helped him to excel on the basketball court. And a lot of successful athletes have an alter ego. You know, I think Michael Jordan had one as well, and it helped them to be the best athlete they could be. An example in media is Walter White from Breaking Bad. You know, he's this innocent chemistry teacher, but then he channels this new identity as Heisenberg to be this super tough, dangerous, drug-dealing dude.
I am the one who knocks.
Beyonce had the performer alter ego Sasha Fierce. Even Marilyn Monroe, who was born Norma Jean, she 100% used this approach to create that successful, famous version of herself. Now, you don't have to create this whole new name and be as dramatic about it, but you can still use this approach in your life. If you'd like to have a little made-up name in your head to identify easier with that person, go right ahead, but I've never done that in the past and it still worked for me. So let me share why this works so well and why it's so powerful. First of all, it helps people move past old stories and blocks and habits, because when you create a new identity for yourself and you have a little bit of an alter ego, whatever happened to you in the past, it didn't happen to you anymore. It happened to somebody else. And therefore it doesn't make sense for it to hold you back anymore. So it's a really powerful way to move past blocks in your life. It also helps you get outside your comfort zone. The reason why some people don't reach their full potential is because they keep themselves consistently comfortable and they don't allow themselves to grow and evolve through discomfort. But that discomfort sometimes is just a necessary part of transformation. And when you choose to have this new identity, you can step into someone who's more confident. You can step into someone where you watching this might be too afraid to do that thing that you know that you should do, but your alter ego isn't. It also helps you to better visualize the person you're trying to become, because instead of it being just like this grand, dreamy idea that never comes to fruition, it makes it so much more clear and so much more real for you. And with that said, I think the most important thing is that it helps you to believe that you can actually do it, that you can be who you want to be, that you can achieve what you want to achieve. Because at the end of the day, if you don't actually believe that these things can happen for you, if you don't believe you can be that person, then let's be real, there's a 99.9% chance that it's not going to happen. Again, that's why Ashley changed her name to Halsey, because she didn't believe in Ashley anymore. And once you lose that belief, you lose everything. So creating this new identity or this alter ego can help you restore this belief in yourself again. And that is crucial. When you fully tap into the identity of the person you want to be, not just the habits, that is when this becomes easier and more natural for you. And that is what creates quicker change and transformation in yourself. And it can make it more fun too. So when you have this identity clear in your head, when you know what it looks like, what it feels like, now is the time to clean and purge. You need to let go of the things that are keeping you stuck. You need to let go of the things that are energetically draining you. And you need to let go of the things that aren't allowing you to identify as this new person. Get rid of clutter and go through your closet and donate old clothes that don't align with that version of yourself that you're trying to step into. Who are you following on Instagram? What podcasts are you currently subscribed to? Who would that new version of you be following? Even go through your email inbox and unsubscribe from all of those emails that are clogging up your inbox and just energetically draining you. Clean out your car, clean out your pantry. You need to let go of everything that's either draining you or holding you to old stories of yourself so that you can create room in your life to energetically attract in what you want and step into that new identity. It is a billion times easier to identify with that new identity when it feels like a fresh start. So create that in your life. Next is that you actually have to show up as her. You already have that clear vision in your mind. So now it's time to show up as that person. You are that person. Be that person. I know it's not that easy, but it's also not as hard as you think to. Tap into that identity. And if you need to spend a few minutes every morning visualizing that person, then do it. How would that alter ego act? How would they be carrying themselves? What would they be focusing on? What would they be wearing? How would they be spending their downtime? What kind of music or podcast would they be listening to on their evening walk or their commute home from work? Would they scroll on TikTok before bed, or would they read a book? And if it was a book, what kind of book would they read? And you can ask yourself, when you feel like you need it, what would my alter ego or whatever do in this situation? Because it helps you to take a step back and look at things objectively. This is why that clarity piece is so important, because this clarity allows you to show up as that person. And I mean, this is essentially what manifestation is. It's acting as if. And it works. Now, when you want to shift your identity and reinvent yourself, you have to be really careful about the way you talk to yourself and the way you talk about yourself to other people. For example, James Clear has this example in his book from Atomic Habits, which is a great book for habits, by the way, where this man is trying to quit smoking. And when someone asks him if he wants a cigarette, instead of saying, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit," he says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." A very subtle but very impactful difference, and he is tapping into the identity of a non-smoker. Be very intentional about how you talk about yourself to others, and of course, how you talk to yourself in your mind too. This all goes back to truly harnessing the identity of the person you want to be. Now, if you truly want to reinvent yourself, not just for the day, but for life, you have to be consistent with this. Consistency is everything, and most people have this idea of consistency wrong. Consistency is not about doing things absolutely perfectly every day of your life. Consistency is about showing up and trying every day of your life. Most people think about this too short term, and consistency is not really meant for short-term success, not really. Consistency is meant to breed long-term success. If you have a rough day or two or week, that's fine, but consistency means you keep showing up. And this idea of perfectionism in relation to consistency is what leads people to fail and give up. I saw this Instagram post a few days ago, such perfect timing as this graphic, I'll show it right now. It just illustrated this point perfectly about what showing up daily really means and what consistency really means. I thought it just really hit the nail on the head. And that is why I say 6 months to fully reinvent yourself, because there will inevitably be times where you will mess up, and there will inevitably be moments of setback or resistance, and I'll get to that in a sec. But 6 months gives you time to create that long-term consistency, which is what creates that long-term transformation. And basically, it's enough time to retrain your brain. 6 months is short enough to be doable and not too scary, but long enough to create massive change. If you put your all into showing up every day as her, even though some days will definitely be better than others, you will be a whole different person 6 months from now. So let's talk about what to do when that resistance hits, because it's likely that there will be at least some sort of resistance in this journey. Now, the funny thing is that most of our resistance is really just caused by our own self and our own self-sabotage, and oftentimes we are the ones who get in our own way the most. And that's why this idea of an alter ego is so effective, because it can help you get out of your own way and step into someone new. But regardless, this resistance may still show up in your life no matter how hard you try to channel this new identity. First of all, know that it's normal to have resistance in moments of transformation. I think we all think whenever we experience resistance or like a feeling of giving up, we think, oh, we must be failing, but it's normal and it's usually a part of the process. And if you're able to work past that resistance, then your mind will be able to further solidify that new identity that you're trying to become. But if you give into that resistance and just completely give up, then your mind further solidifies that you are staying exactly the same. And your subconscious mind thinks, oh, nothing's changing, she's still the same. And you accidentally dig yourself deeper and deeper into the place that you're trying to move away from. But if you can know that it's just a part of the process and it doesn't mean you're failing, it can help you move past that. But when this resistance occurs, it's likely a moment of self-sabotage. And it's really important to take a sec and reflect on this and try to have some self-awareness around, why might I be doing this to myself? Why might I be trying to sabotage my own success? Because when you can understand why you might be doing that to yourself, you're more likely to easily work past it. So for this point though, I'm going to direct you over to this video, why we self-sabotage and what to do about it. It's a really clear and informative video, if I do say so myself, about this specific topic. Because when you can actually understand self-sabotage, you can understand how to work past it and not let it control you. So I will see you over in that video, or I will just see you next time. Bye. Also, if you like this video, go like and subscribe. Okay, thanks. Bye.